Welcome and welcome back, my dear tarot pals, to another Pick a Card reading. Today we're going to be asking Spirit to help us understand who we are becoming, what guidance do we have from the future self, what events lined up, what can we expect showing up. Now each pile may of course come up with a different number of years or a timeline from where the future self is speaking from, and we will see as we go along. I've not, as usual, decided what the title would be, but pretty much what I'm trying to ask through tarot today is guidance from your future self. Okay, I am going to quickly light this. Take some deep breaths, try to connect with the cards here. If you are new to Pick a Card, I'm going to pull out 3 cards right now, and you may feel drawn to one pile, you may feel drawn to more than one pile. Listen to your intuition and pick the messages. Of course, this is a general reading. Not every message is meant for you. So take what resonates and leave the rest. On that note, what is the guidance, or what does our future self want to tell us? Let us pick 3 cards. So that's option number 1. Let's keep it on the side here. And who are we becoming? Guidance from future self. Option number 2. And option number 3. Okay, let's make space first. If, by the way, you haven't yet joined us on the Instagram platform of Tarot Pal, you'll find the link in the description box. I'm soon going to announce the next sale. I know the last one was super successful. Thank you for the great response, and I will come up with another one for, I'm not sure, should I launch it on Thanksgiving and make it for December? I'm still figuring that out. And but if you are in a rush and you'd not like to wait for the sale to come out, of course, you can send me an email in the email address given below to book a paid personal reading. Do not forget to subscribe to Tarot Pal if this reading resonates for you, okay? So 1, 2, and 3, let us first look at the cards, and I'll give you guys crystals to also add up with this. So pile number 1, we have Apsara's hands. That is the artwork for pile 1. With the number 25, for pile number 2, we have Healing the Heart, and that is your artwork. Okay, with the number 9. And for pile number 3, we have 16 and the Hoponono sunset. Okay, like I said, you may feel drawn to more than one pile. Listen to your intuitive messages and go with what you're feeling drawn to. So for pile number 1, I'm going to give you guys the rose quartz, and that is your crystal close-up. That's a rose quartz heart. For pile number 2, I'm going to go with the red goldstone. That's your crystal. Hold on, let me give it another close-up. Should be better. Yeah. So that's the rose goldstone. Sorry, brown goldstone. I don't know why I'm calling it rose goldstone. It's brown goldstone. Goldstone. Wow, can't speak. And this is option number 3 with the Lapis Lazuli. Let it focus. Here you go. That is option number 3. If you need more time to make your pile selection, feel free to pause the video and I will see you in your respective piles. Hello and welcome, my beloved pile number 1s. Those of you who's gone with the rose quartz, a beautiful crystal for heart chakra healing, for selfless love. I'm repeatedly, of course, channeling the word healing and hands together for some reason. Some of you may be doing the pranic exercises about deep breathing while keeping your left hand right on your chest. Those kind of activities can really help you guys. For some of you, that is the immediate message that I received. We're going to look at what is it that our future self is going to become. But before that, in order for you to know if this particular reading is for you or not, if you've picked the right pile, I am going to help you guys with some current energy messages first as to what you are dealing with, or perhaps what's going on with you, or your personality type, to kind of help you understand if this is really your reading. We will then move to understand what is it that you're becoming, or what would be the messages and guidance from the future self, what's happening for you in the near future. Okay, on that note, who and what is going on for pile number 1s. Thank you, Spirit. Let's take 3 cards to understand your current energy. Your underlying energy is the Magician, Gemini energy being strong here. We have 9 of Pentacles. We have the Emperor. Wow, 2 major arcanas already for you guys. And we have the 8 of Swords. Okay. First of all, some zodiac signs. If I don't show your zodiac, does not mean, of course, this reading is not for you. It just the energy. So some of you may be feeling those personality traits of yours more. Some of you may be dealing with such zodiac signs energy as well. I strongly have the Aries here as well as the Gemini energy reflecting. There's also Earth, which is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, strongly present with the 9 of Pentacles here. Okay. What is the current energy of pile number 1? Number 1, you guys are in that push and pull of understanding how does really manifestation, law of attraction work. Sometimes your mind gets it and you're able to tap into your intuition and really know how to manifest anything. And you have already received, this pile has already received enough confirmations, like you've thought of things and it has happened for you. You've asked spirit guides to give you a sign and they have responded to you. So there is, while there is no question for this pile that your mind is powerful and that you are a strong manifester, there is clearly certain blockages when it comes to actually manifesting what you truly desire or truly want, because you're still working through a lot of your mental inner chatter. Some of you guys could be people who deal with a lot of anxiety attacks. Anxiety often keeps you in a fearful place. You don't take the next step or the next action. I'm hearing the word cautious. So clearly this is a pile that is known in its friend circle to be the cautious one, somebody who would actually double check everything and want to be double sure, plan everything ahead, wants to know what's going to go happen and how things are going to roll up for you. And that is the energy that this pile currently in. Some of you could be really young in age, which means you're still a student, or many of you are perhaps started a new business or a new career or a new job, and you're still not the senior most people in that particular space that you operate in. So professionally, what I'm trying to say is currently where you're at, you're either at a junior or a middle level, wherein you're still trying to figure out your own skill sets, you're still learning things, you're still understanding a lot of the dynamics that play along in the ecosystem, especially when it comes to your professional ecosystem. How are things playing out for you, okay? This is also a pile perhaps currently struggling a lot when it comes to routine and when it comes to sticking with routine. While you have, of course, made tremendous progress in the past 2 years or so, whoever I'm reading for in pile number 1, when it comes to becoming more grounded in your approach towards your, day-to-day activities, as in you're more clear-headed, you don't ask for as much support or you don't expect as much support in the space of your your professionally or otherwise. You're learning what it means to be independent, but it's clearly a long way to go for you, okay? Some of you have been struggling with an authoritarian in your life perhaps, which means that this could be a government figure, this could be certain laws and regulations that you're trying to fight, there could be a literal legal dispute that you're dealing with, and in most cases there could be just some other people who have always had a bigger say in how you should be or shouldn't be, and that kind of still is a part of your anxiety that you're still figuring out. You've struggled a lot in your life from moving away from being a people pleaser to really being self-sufficient and living life at your own terms, okay? What you are clearly at as a stage is right now is a fantastic time for you when you're listening to this reading, for you to pick up new skills, for you to reach out to those in power, those who inspire you, those who the kind of people you'd like to have the life like. Reach out to them and learn from them. Understand what their journey was, okay? Your ancestors are clearly very strongly protecting you, pile number 1s, when you're watching this reading. Your current energy, I would definitely recommend to do some ancestral healing work, set up a ritual for them, set up an altar for them, do some puja at home and acknowledge their presence, their significance in your life right now, okay? Some of you may have recently started, like I said, a new job or a new career path, and this is currently intimidating you, but it clearly looks like as if you're going to be coming across very strong If you've just recently started a health program or a change in diet, or you've joined the gym, Spirit really wants to come in and say, if you can stick to this, it is clearly taking you places, okay? That is what it seems to be as your current energy, okay? For another message I definitely want to give you guys is that some of you have had a relationship that did not work out due to, again, some sort of an authoritarian who would not allow that particular relationship to work out for you. This could be your parents, this could be the society, this could be just either both of you just having a power struggle when it comes to whose way it should be in the relationship. And perhaps I think most of you are still working your way out of it. So you're not completely out of this relationship, but there is clearly some relationship trouble when it comes to a certain amount of my way or the highway attitude, okay, at play. We're now going to move towards what is it that our future selves wants us to know for pile number 1. What is happening for future self? What would Spirit like to tell us for pile number 1? I want to use the same deck for you guys. I feel like that's what I'm drawn to. So we are going to first get some major events or major themes at play for you and see what does the future self want us to know. What does future self want pile number 1 to know? Okay, this one wants to come out. We do have the Chariot. This represents the Cancer energy. The underlying energy being Moon, another water sign energy showing up for Pisces. We have Death. Oh my God, some of you could have heavy water sign energies in your birth chart. That's 3 water charts here. And we have Justice, okay? Wow, I already have quite a lot of messages coming up from your future self. But before I start talking, I feel like I want to get your tarot cards as well. Just so that we kind of get a coherent message and we include everything that Spirit wants us to know. Okay, if any of you have been thinking about a jewelry business, a crystal business, wow, it's literally horned behind me, okay? A business when it comes to car, bikes or vehicles, or any kind of a creative skill or a knack or an interest that you have, your future self is telling you that you're definitely going to follow that calling, and you should follow that calling, and it will be very beneficial for you, you know. So Mars and Venusian things are very strongly represented. So the first card out from your future self message is the 7 of Wands. Pile number 1, 7 of Wands, okay? 10 of Pentacles, look at that. Future self. For pile number 1, what is the future? Okay, we have the 4 of Wands. I don't know why I want to keep this reversed. Typically I avoid reversals, but I feel like let's go with reversals for this part of the reading. And we have the 9 of Cups reversed. Okay, the underlying energy is the Emperor again. I love it. This was your current energy. Okay, let's talk about this. Let's first talk the zodiac signs, which are evidently and clearly present here. We have Pisces, we have Cancer, we have Scorpio, we have Libra with the Justice card. We do have strong earth energy with Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn again. And this is what your future self wants to tell you. First of all, in your future, pile number 1, you clearly would have gone through a massive transformation. I think for many of you this is already at play, and somewhere there's a correlation between what's happening. I cannot even ignore that you have 2 Martian cards already here. So a lot of you are already taking action and you're already going through this. So a lot of this may have actually been covered for you, okay? The Emperor and the Death card both are Mars ruled, because the Emperor is governed by the Aries and Scorpio rules the card of the Death, both of them being Mars ruled. And currently when I'm doing this reading, while this is a timeless reading, is Mars retrograde. This really wants to bring my focus to you guys talking about there's still a certain amount of restraint or a held back when it comes to what you think in your mind versus your actual action. You know, you're really picking up the reins and charging ahead and making towards some progress. What is one thing definitely changing about you, pile number 1s? In the near future, you're transforming into somebody who would have more match between what you say and what you're hoping to be versus who you really are. Okay, somewhere that gap is a lot. You know, those people who like constantly talk about becoming more healthier but they're constantly eating unhealthy, or who keep talking about going to the gym but never really show up at the gym. That is changing about you. What you will think is what you would do, and there is no way people would be able to stop you or hold you back from doing something that you have set your mind on. Okay, we have very strong cardinal energies here as well, which is with the Justice card, Libra, and the Chariot card, Cancer. Cardinals are initiators. We already looked at your current energy wherein we talked about starting something. You're at a starting stage of something, and this is going to grow. This is going to lead you to create a lot of wealth, create a lot of abundance, have some loyal friends. So if you've recently joined in the past 6 months, 8 months, 1 year, when you're watching this, a new office, a new academic field, you've started a new business, stick to it, pile number ones, because clearly if you stand by your belief system, stand by what you've started, stand by your own visions, abundance is definitely likely. Some of you in the near future may have to fight for an inheritance of some sort. This seems like perhaps more longer ahead, which means like somewhere around 10-12 years from whenever this reading comes to your way, there would be some family dispute around property or some sort of an inheritance. It doesn't have to be property, it could be business, it could be some other kind of an inheritance, but in your life, there would be certain amount of struggle or arguments or conflict showing up in the near future, or rather in the distant future, this part, when it comes to property. Okay, this pile has a lot of opportunities coming their way when it comes to becoming more financially literate. So if you are somebody as of now who looks at money and goes like, I really don't understand how this works, I'm so bad at budgeting, I'm so bad at keeping tab of where my money is, where my money is going, that transformation is highly confirmed here. Okay, with the Death card and the Justice card showing up together, this also talks about changing to become more balanced. Okay, so wherever, in whichever aspect of life there is a certain amount of imbalance playing at for you, there's a lack of yin yang energy being balanced, you don't know when to receive, you don't know when to act, this thing about you changes a lot. Okay, what is clearly a challenge in your near future is somehow there is still a struggle to complete things. Okay, so one guidance from your future self is to learn how to complete something when you start it. Okay, so you could be one of those guys who have a lot of ideas, who have a lot of thoughts and wishes and this and that, but somewhere in the middle you lose consistency, okay, or you lose focus, or you don't finish your task, and this may actually lead to certain amount of dissatisfaction, or you ask for something or you wish for something and the wish comes true. I remember we saw the Magician in your initial part of the reading, and this brings me back to that 9 of Cups reversed. When you manifest something, and some of you it's a very specific message, if you're currently trying to manifest something desperately, this could be like, oh, I've not been getting, I really want to get married and I just want to get married ASAP, I just want this much amount of money, I just want this person to go away, I just want this person to come back. When we become desperate about a certain wish, it actually becomes something that the universe will typically tend to show us a lesson through. Okay, so be very mindful of, and then you start playing those manipulative tricks, you're trying underhanded games, you're playing agenda driven relationships. Be very mindful of asking for something just because you feel like the lack of it keeps you unhappy. Getting something or having someone or becoming something is what your future self is trying to tell you will not make you happy. I'm going to give an example. You don't have to take that example if that's not yours. Okay, I've seen this a lot, and especially in Indian women. At a certain age, they become so pressurized, or maybe because of the conditioning, that they have to get married ASAP, and if they don't, then there's something wrong with them, and they must, they're just, that dream of finding that other person, we did have that 9 of Pentacles, hence if you remember, becomes so heavy for them that they are actively manifesting and they're only focusing on getting married. Right now, a lot of times you would notice the person would get married, and within a couple of years you would hear this person say like, oh, and this, they kind of wished for it, but they didn't really understand what it comes with. As marriages comes with a lot of commitment, a lot of responsibilities, a lot of, it's two families coming together. And then these people get unhappy because while what they wished for did happen, it did not turn out the way they wanted it to be. That is what your future self is trying to bring your focus towards. You don't completely understand something about what you're desiring right now, pile number ones, and spirit wants to bring your focus to it, to ask yourself, why do you want it? What would you achieve by receiving it? And where is this coming from? Your where and your why has to be very clear, very honest, very I want to say pure, that's the word I'm channeling, and not because you feel as if there is a lack of social status or lack of financial abundance or lack of security by you having it or not having it. I hope that I could give your future self's message right? So, because if you're not asking us questions right now, spirit really wants to tell you that something will come true for you, perhaps in the next 9 months or 9 years. And you may actually remain still very dissatisfied and then go through an again transformative phase because you don't really want what you really got, okay? Now, of course, this will vary people to people. Some of you, it could be like getting a foreign visa. For some of you, it could be getting married. Now, take where it resonates and leave where it, leave it what does not. But that's clearly a message showing up for you. In the future, you're clearly somebody who's also very clear-headed and can stand their ground. If you're someone right now who's known to be, dilly-dally, very fickle-minded, cannot make up their mind, cannot make a decision, constantly struggling with FOMO, your future self assures you that that is clearly changing for you. Once you would become more clear-headed when it comes to your decision-making powers, okay? In the future, you clearly do travel a lot, and for many of you, I do see this is world travel, and I see for most of you, this is travel for work. So you will get into certain opportunities which will allow you to travel frequently and often to far off places for your work, or for some of you, I literally feel like as if you're promoting something. So if your startup or your new work has something to do with promoting, that perhaps is also the reason why you're traveling a lot, okay? I want to get you guys some angel card guidance for the future. Okay, if you are someone who's currently going through a divorce case, by the way, or you're hoping for a divorce to happen, or you're planning a divorce, okay, this message, I literally missed it, and it's such an evident, obvious message here. Let me complete this. If you're hoping for a divorce, or you're going through a divorce case, or you're thinking if divorce is for you, Spirit wants to confirm, yes, it is. I have the Four of Wands reversed with the Justice. So if you're worrying about some legal dynamics of losing money, of losing fame, of losing legacy, of losing something related to your inheritance, okay, with these two combination, Four of Wands is the card of marriage, Justice is the card of legal work or paperwork, okay? With this reversed, it clearly says that it will happen for you, and if you're just fighting for something, okay, just defending something because of, again, social status, conditioning situations, it will still break away. So it might as well be good for you to choose that road yourself and to make those decisions yourself and walk away from what you know no longer works for you, okay? This could be for some of you business partnerships. This for you, some of you could be a relationship. For some of you could be a marriage, okay? But if you know already in your heart, something's not okay and I'm just fighting a lost battle, let it go, pile number one. Let that transformation happen, because with the Nine of Cups reverse, there's clearly something that you're wishing for and Spirit wants to give you better things or give you the gift of happiness. It's reversed because somewhere you've become your own problem. You've become so defensive, or you're fighting a lost battle. That's what Spirit wants to tell you. Now, this will play out in different ways for each of you, but don't fight a lost battle. Instead, perhaps channel your energy, again, which comes to this pile. I would strongly recommend future self wants you to be honest with yourself. That's number one. Ask the reasons of what you're manifesting and why, and keep your reasons why very pure, very authentic. Don't try to lie to yourself, and of course don't try to lie to Spirit, okay? Number three, if something's not working out, let it go, because in the near future it will anyway walk away or move away from you, and it would hurt you a lot then, okay? Number three, if there is something that you've started in your professional front, stick to it. Definitely stick to it for the next 7 months to 7 years, because some sort of an abundance or blessing or healing will come for you through that. In the future, you are definitely getting opportunities to travel a lot and meet people who do clearly have a lot of shared value system and loyalty towards you, okay? Those are the messages we've got through tarot for you guys. Let us move towards some angel card guidance for pile number one. What is the angel card guidance? We will wrap this up with a postcard from Spirit, And I would also like to, okay, some of you are being told clearly with those hands and the pink lotus. I definitely want to tell you, Google or YouTube pink lotus meditation, and you may want to try that, okay? Pink lotus meditation, just type that. Archangel Michael protects you from whatever is scaring you to start what you need to start, or cut away from what you need to cut away, okay? We have the solar plexus. This brings me back to the message of confidence, okay? You are powerful enough to go through this transition all on your own. You would not need a lot of people to pick, there's somewhere like a lack of confidence and the struggle that we were talking about. That is clearly getting healed for you. Wear a lot of yellows, pile number ones. That will help you a lot. You are profoundly clairvoyant. There's something that this pile intuitively is aware they should be doing, and they're not doing it, perhaps for your love life more than anything else. And they've become very, if it is a love life message that I'm trying to break this down into different examples, okay? So let's say it's your love life where you've become very desperate, or you really want to find somebody, or you really want to be with somebody, and you really want to get married, you want to get settled. In all of that desperation, you've lost your power, okay? What Spirit really wants you to focus on is remembering that you're powerful, you're complete, you're successful, you need to feel good as you are. I'm not saying you don't need a different person. Please don't misunderstand it. We all need love, but that achievement and that success and that completion will only come your way when your own cup is filled enough, right? And be open to different ways of finding something that can make you happy, okay? Some of you are literally being pushed to, and in the future you will, which is also the travel that is coming your way. With this card, this often also talks about spiritual travel or pilgrimage, okay? Some of you are moving towards your soul purpose, and you may not be able to see how, but you got to trust Archangel Michael that they are protecting you, okay? You got to also start listing, pile number ones. What is it that makes you you? What are your highest aspirations? What makes you successful, okay? And have hope. Most importantly, have hope. I really want to bring your focus back to the fact that you need to start learning to finish what you start, okay? Your life is to run by your mood swings, is what I clearly see. Cancerian energy also strong here. And you need to become more disciplined, more focused on what is good for you in the long run, rather than focusing on that instant quick gratification, okay? Let us get you a postcard to sum this up. If you've liked this reading so far, pile number ones, I want you to leave me a yellow emoji, okay? Yellow is the color I would strongly suggest for you guys. Leave me a yellow emoji. And that tells me that you have picked pile one, tells other people they've picked pile one too, and helps me because you've engaged with the content. There are times you get lost but refuse to see your part in it. I didn't use the word accountability because somebody recently told me that sometimes that sounds as if I'm blaming the person. So I didn't, but the word I was thinking of is accountability for who you are and where you're going needs to rise higher. Something feels familiar but sort of off. If you're feeling confused, it's best to throw away that map you're using, which only lets you navigate based on your past experiences. Transformation and secrets, okay? Some of you are literally going through a mood of, inner child healing as you're watching this reading, and your future self is supremely proud of that journey of you healing through it, okay? This isn't what you need right now. Instead, take a deep breath and be open to the truth. A desire to stay in denial means that part of you doesn't want to be responsible for the pattern that showed up in your life. Yes, this is the right time to wake up and start again. By the way, you will always get another chance. You have unlimited chances to start again. We love you so much. We really do. Be gentle with yourself. Coming out of denial is like being temporarily blinded by super bright lights. Allow your eyes to adjust. Carry on, special one. A beautiful life awaits you. Loving you so, so much. Some of you really need a permission, or some of you really are waiting for somebody to tell you that the day you decide, you can choose to be a 360-degree different person, and you do not owe anybody an explanation to tell you why you have changed or why you are this, okay? And if you're waiting for, if you're regretting the fact, pile number ones, that I wish I knew this 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, I wish I met this person 10 years ago, 7 years ago, 5 years ago, etc., etc., I wish I could, I do. Do now. And no matter how overwhelming it seems to you, it's going to be absolutely fine. If I make you a baby today, how would you live your life differently? Tell me in comment section below, by the way. If I make you a baby today, what all would you do differently? And if I tell you that you can go ahead and do most of those things again, and no matter how much you are scared that time has passed, it'll be worth it. Trust me. That is what your future self wants to tell you. I wish you guys success, abundance. Hit like, leave me a yellow emoji, and I'll see you in your next reading. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome, my beloved pile number 2s. Those of you who picked the brown goldstone, which for some reason I keep thinking it's the red goldstone. I don't know why, but hello. And if you've skipped the introduction, first of all, you need to know that there is a detailed 2023 major events and themes reading done for you on the Timeless Readings playlist. You'll also find that in the description box below, by the way. And there is also another reading done which is twists and turns before 2023. I strongly feel called to tell you, you need to definitely watch the second one, if not the first one done already, because there is clearly some message for you there, pile number 2s. Those of you who like to know my pile selection, I have gone with pile 3 as my main selection, and 2 is what I'm using for additional messages. Again, if you've skipped the introduction, and if you also felt drawn to more than one pile, pretty much like me, these are general readings. You can definitely select more than one pile because there would be some other message that Spirit wants you to hear for yourself in that particular pile. The brown goldstone is a very grounding stone and yet bringing a lot of fame, success. What this typically means is that, your future self definitely wants to draw your attention to the word. Goldstones always talk about fame and popularity, okay? Success in the sense of a lot of people knowing that you're successful. Some of you, I feel, are very skeptical of even sharing your ideas, your bright ideas with the world. And this has something to do with your heart chakra. Perhaps you have been rejected for your great ideas as a little kid. I do see that DNA healing there being reflected, and that is where you maybe need to begin. We will see how this number of 9, which is spirituality, healing the heart, which clearly tells us about your heart chakra, and those dolphins, which are clearly playful energy already showing up for you guys in pile number 2. First, what I'm going to do is, so that you know that this reading is for you, we're going to take out 3 cards and understand what really is going on in your current life, okay? Who you are, what you're dealing with, what could be immediately showing up for you. And if that resonates, you can of course watch the second part of this, which is like, what is your future self telling you and who you're becoming in the near future, okay? So pile number 2, what is going on in pile number 2's life? I want to give it one more shuffle. Thank you, Spirit. Pile number 2, what's happening right now? We'll take 3 cards, and for this part of the reading, I'm not taking uprights. Oh, sorry, I'm not taking reversals. Okay, 5 of Pentacles. We do have a certain amount of financial struggles showing up. You're still struggling to understand money, learn about money, ask people for help, and money or success is a challenge right now. And you're doing a lot to figure out how to get out of it. You're perhaps trying multiple sources of income. You're trying to juggle between many things. You're really trying your best to get yourself. For some of you, this could be like ancestral struggle as well, okay? Maybe as a child, you've seen a certain amount of struggle and that made you a multitasker. There's a lot on your plate and you've picked up a lot, okay? We do have Queen of Wands, which talks about confidence, boldness, generosity, beauty. She is supremely eye-catching, okay? So, and we talked about fame, and look at that, the Star card has shown up. Star is again healing. Star is wish fulfillment. Star is also the manifestation of something that we've been hoping into the 3D world, okay? Now, the first pile actually got 3 cards, but for you we have 4, so we'll take 4. What's going on in the current energy, okay? I'll first start off with the zodiac sign, so I clearly do have, hold on, I think this is going to give you guys a better look of the cards. So let's try this, okay? First off, with the Star card, we do have the strong Aquarius energy showing up for you guys. Here, when I say the energy, that means this could be your sun, moon, and rising. This could be the energy that you're embodied in or you're tapped into. Or this could literally be your 11th house, which is the house of gains, friendships, larger networks. ruled by the sign of Aquarius, being very highly activated at this point of time. It plays out differently for different people. Hence, we all tarot readers would typically mention the zodiac signs that we see. Those are just additional confirmators for people watching at this, large forum, when we know that there's going to be a lot of energy mix-up happening, okay? The other energy that we clearly see here is Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. More Leo, because that's what I associate the Queen of Wands with. She's confident. She listens to her intuitive words. You are somehow also perhaps learning. Some of you may have multiple businesses. Some of you are learning something new from the scratch, and you're struggling and you're figuring out your way around it. And this learning journey is gradually building your inner self-confidence. Some of you are struggling between different kinds of responsibilities thrown at you. You have a lot going on at home, you have a lot going on at work, and you don't know how to juggle between all of this. There is clearly a struggle there, okay? This could be like also between health and work. For some of you, there is a lot of struggle when it comes to, some of you may literally have like a feet ache, or your feet or your lower back is hurting you a lot. When you're watching this reading, do let me know if that's true. Those are some very specific messages that somehow Spirit channels in sometimes. With the Star card showing up to the Queen of Wands, I'm also seeing here that there is clearly a lot of talk about you. Now, this could mean many things. This could be like people are gossiping about you, and that gossip does bother you. You're very annoyed by the fact that you have so many people looking at you or talking about you or having opinion about what you should or should not do. This could also be in the positive sense, where people are admiring you. People are inspired by you. People are inspired by how you manage this juggling, this struggle with such confidence and such finesse. Of course, you would know which side of the reading you resonate with, but I do have that split message here that regardless of whether you're liking it or you're not liking it, people are talking about you and you're well aware about it. And you are somebody who, those kind of people who enter the room, and no matter whether, even if they don't say a word, people are looking at them, people are noticing them, and whatever they say or don't say, or whatever facial expression they make, they are well aware that everybody's eyes are on them, okay? You're currently also perhaps going through that phase. Some of you have had a massive financial breakdown, as I said. And right now, I don't think when you're watching this, that's when the financial breakdown has happened. This has happened a couple of years ago, or maybe like 6-8 months ago for you, and you're recovering. This is the recovery phase for you, because I do have the Star card. That means the healing has already set into place. Now, this of course could be healing your own self-confidence wounds as well, and you're juggling and you're learning different techniques to become more confident, especially if you're an artist who's watching this, to be on the stage, okay? Some of you have been put into a relationship, or you are in a relationship. Wow, people are not put into relationships, but I don't know why I channeled it for you guys. You are in a relationship, or maybe you're trying to pick between two people, and that juggle has become a real struggle. So you're clearly asking Spirit, some of you with this reading, this one or that one, this road or that road, tell me the road, because I am tired and I can't handle it, okay? If any of these messages sounds like, okay, yeah, that's what's going on in my life, then of course, please do listen to the second part, wherein now we're going to move towards what is it that Spirit wants to tell us, or future self wants to come, your future self wants to come in and show us about your future. We'll see if a specific timeline shows up. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We'll end this with a postcard. I'm also going to get you guys some angel card messages, and we'll first start off with, as usual, tarot, okay? What is future self of pile number 2 trying to show them or tell them? Okay, what guidance do we have? What's happening in the future for pile number 2? Thank you, Spirit. What is happening in the future for pile number 2? What is happening in the future for pile number 2? Some of you are clearly becoming more spiritual. I think I'm using the word more because most people watching tarot are already spiritual. Oh my God, I talk spirituality. I have the Hermit card. Yes, you're loving solitude. You're loving nature. You're getting more connected to nature. Some of you could literally be learning and studying about forest, or you want to become a forest officer or something like that, or you want to help the animals. The spirit animals, nature, mountains, forests, those things will really heal you. You're learning how to enjoy. Your future self really enjoys its own company. Your future self is really at peace. We have 2 9s now. Hermit represents the 9 energy, okay? And we have 9 again. Solitude and the gift of solitude. Wisdom that comes from being silent with yourself is what your future self is clearly tapped into. Oh my God, a lot of earth energy. We have Hierophant, and he represents spirituality, religious systems. He's literally showing the chakras here, so clearly the chakras are getting balanced. Like I said, for many of you, the healing journey has already begun. We have the Wheel of Fortune, and perhaps this future that we're talking about, I did say that if I see a future, we'll talk about it. This is coming for you within a year. So this is your future self a year from now for pile number 2s, okay? We have Judgment, a strong Virgo energy here. So the next September, whenever you're watching this, is a significant time for you. We do have extremely strong earth sign energies, by the way, which clearly means, and there's a fixed sign energy here with the Wheel of Fortune as well, okay? So wow, there's a lot coming in for you. And very specific messages for pile 2s somehow. Okay. In the future, you clearly associate it to a spiritual cult. Okay. This could be like a smaller group or a larger group of people. Some of you may literally go through a religious change in belief system, if I have to say it, or for some of you, it's the first time you're literally coming into developing what a spiritual belief system even means, okay? You're learning that path of defining what spirituality is for you, and your future self, perhaps a year from now, is the time that I'm tapped into, has very clear ideas about who you are, what your soul is here to do. And of course, we're constantly learning. I'm not saying that in a year you're going to get all your answers, but you're clearly more at peace and at calm. Some of you are clearly going to find a guru within a year, a spiritual guru or a teacher who really takes you on a path of ascension when it comes to your spiritual journey. But more importantly, in the year from now, Spirit really wants to tell you, or your future self wants to really tell you, learn to be kinder to yourself, pile number 2s. Okay, somewhere your biggest problem is that you don't know how to be kind to your own self. You've picked even the healing the heart, because I see a very rigid energy here, okay, with the Hierophant and the Hermit both being extremely masculine figures, solitude, silent. And while silence is great and solitude is great, just shutting down yourself because you can't come from a place of healed emotion, and if you're somebody who's often very triggered, this is changing about you, okay? A year from now, something that you had lost hope on, okay, this could be an opportunity, this could be a person, this could be a job scenario, will return for you, pile number 2. I'm going to get more cards to understand what's going on. For pile number 2, what is it that is happening, and what can the future self tell us? Future self of pile number 2, thank you. Future self of pile number 2. Future self of pile number 2. We have the Knight of Swords. We're finally definitely making progress, speaking a heart. Some of you literally can in the future go for, and I think you would, you know, those travels for pilgrimage, like the 19 Jyotirlingas, if I'm not saying that wrong, or 29 Jyotirlingas, or every culture has some sort of a, you know, long spiritual trip, and that's perhaps what you're taking. We have the 7 of Wands. Some of you may have been drawn to pile number 1, and if you were and you didn't pick that pile, I think there's a message for you there, by the way, because I do see that correlation. 6 of Wands, okay. In the future, pile number 2s, you would pick up a battle and you would feel very passionate about it. Now, this could be like in your larger community, and you're very passionate about getting to the right answer, being fair to everybody, and making sure that those not in power are not abused. Some sort of a social cause will move you to that extent that you want to fight for it. You know, this could be like, even like I said, environment. For many of you, anything to do with Gaia, and look at that, we have the Sun card popping up for you at that. Okay, and we have 2 of Wands. Okay, traveling and knowing different cultures is going to be a major part of your future self's life. I think a year from now, what you would clearly be unstoppable, which is that word I always associate with when it comes to the Knight of Swords. When you'll have an idea, you'd be that adventurous to just go pack your bags and go. Okay, this pile is manifesting a lot of travel, a lot of knowledge about other religions, mysticism, shamanism, those kind of things will really start interesting you if they don't already. Okay, if you're currently fighting a battle, or if you feel passionately about a cause, I strongly suggest pile number 2s. Your future self is clearly giving indications that you can be very successful in winning this war for this particular cause. Okay, it could be anything like feeding strays or helping orphans or widowers. If there's any cause that you strongly believe in, you should do more and get more involved, because you can make a significant difference in the future on that aspect. Okay, the sun card also brings me towards abundance. So clearly, Wheel of Fortune to the sun, money, ooh la la, is on your way. Wherever you are right now, we talked about financial struggles when it came to the first part of the reading, and we could see that you're dealing with something, or you're healing something, or you're figuring out your way after a financial damage. You're coming out victorious, and you're coming out way, way better. A father figure would clearly be of help, or at least people in leadership positions will really help you get to this place of sun. Okay, but the sun and the judgment together also tells me that there's a spiritual awakening happening for you guys. Okay, you're learning to know when to defend a certain idea and when go to war to fight that idea, and when to have that wisdom to be quiet, to observe and let things play out in its own way. Okay, what this pile is perhaps developing, and which would be very alien to you guys, is how you can be at a place wherein you can say what you want to say and you can put your thoughts ahead, but you don't trigger other people and other people don't trigger you. You know, like diversity, unity in diversity, that is what I'm really tapped in for you guys. Okay, as clear as we get anyway with our own religious and spiritual systems, or who we are, once we understand who we are, it bothers us lesser and lesser who others are, because then we are not projecting insecurities, then we are not trying to find our answers from their answers, and that's clearly coming up. Okay, in the near future, as I've already said, and I'm repeatedly saying in the near future for you guys, because I don't think for you guys it's not a long way ahead. It's as soon as whenever the next September is, and if nothing else, like within the next 12 months. Okay, you are also going to be somebody who has very solid rituals and practices that you stick to every day. Let's say, like, you brush your teeth at a certain time, you eat at a certain time, you're becoming more organized because you have a lot on your plate. Your number of responsibilities are clearly rising, and this would need a lot of mental clarity as well as physical stamina. Those of you who are in any kind of a field where communication or speech or impressing a lot of people with your speech makes a tremendous difference for your profession, a year from now you're going to become more successful in being a better communicator. Okay, I think I've covered a lot when it comes to traveling, because that is strongly indicated for you guys. If any of you have PTSD issues, post-trauma syndrome, and you do not know that you have some sort of a mental health issue, you will get to know of it and you'll very quickly heal it as well. Okay, but there's some untapped emotional or psychological wound that will come up for you, and you would fight against it. You will develop a resilience, or rather an immune system for it, and you would go ahead and succeed. Okay, this is the card of victory. So any kind of a battle you're in, be rest assured that there is no way anybody is defeating you. Okay, heart chakra meditation and connecting to Mother Gaia is strongly recommended for you. Your future self wants to clearly tell you that the energy of sun, the energy of trees, the energy of oceans is where you heal, and these will have a lot of answers for you. If you're troubled right now, find these things, connect to these things, and you would find a lot of answers come up for you. Vacuum away fear. Isn't that such a beautiful card to show up from angels? Okay, if you do have a health issue, pile number 2, that is making you really scary, with the sun card, which is literally the card of vitality, showing up, and I can definitely assure you that your future self tells you that a year from now your health is going to be way better where you are versus where you are. We cannot talk about enough of spirituality for pile number 2. There is an ascended master who wants to connect to you. It could be Sai Baba, it could be Jesus, Krishna, Kuan Yin, anybody. But if you've never yet connected with an ascended master, please do so. And that ascended master is clearly coming in from the future. Maybe in a year's time you actually develop a knack for chanting, listening to certain ascended masters speak, and we have the throat chakra. Okay, learning to speak your truth without triggering others and without getting triggered yourself. That is what your future self is like. If I really have to give you an example, think of the Taurus and the Virgos in your life. Okay, however you find, whatever your understanding of Virgos are, okay, whatever your understanding of Leo is with that sun card showing up, that is the personality that this pile is clearly embodying in the next year, and that is the personality you are evolving into. More devotion, more service. By the way, Virgos are very charitable people, so they give a lot and they want to really help people. You would be known in your larger community and you will be celebrated. If any of you are also waiting for a promotion, by the way, this is a promotion card. A year from now is a good time to get promoted on certain field or certain aspect that you're working at. Okay, but apart from that, the Virgo energy also tells me about charity or charitable service, being of help and being of use to other people. Your future self really wants to come in and tell you that as much as you're bogged down by your own fears, your own life, what's going to happen to you, you're going to develop a certain amount of clarity or enlightenment. Okay, I'm not going to say that it's greatness, but you just become, you start seeing life more than just all about you, and you start thinking life of what is my life contributing to earth. I hope that makes sense. That larger purpose, that leaving behind the world a better place than how we find it. Let's sum this up with a postcard for you guys and see what messages your future self wants to give you to sum this all up. This pile, I want you to guys to leave me a tree emoji if you've reached this part of this reading. Tells me that you've heard me all this way, tells me that you've enjoyed this content. Hit that like button, tell other people you go for pile number 2, and let's read what this is. We are gathering our magic to help you celebrate your new beginning. Excited for this. You're stepping into a new version of yourself. Getting to tell a new story as you create it. Doesn't it feel like spring when you urge to expand? When the urge to expand wells up inside from a primal place, the form of what you're growing has yet to take shape, and it is exciting to experience this new and fresh beginning. It's normal to feel both push and push back when entering any new kind of relationship. It's okay to admit you don't really know what to expect. You can know it's time to dive in and allow that new version of life to take shape through you on behalf of your partner in life, Spirit. You have made it to a new level of awakening. We talked about awakening, spirituality, ascension. That's what your future self wants to clearly talk about. You made it to a new level of awakening and contributing we are so excited to see where this will take you next. We are so proud of you. I am so proud of you, pile number 2s. You've clearly come a long way when it comes to inner healing and healing your own heart. Congratulations to you for that. And I will want to really, really see who all picked this pile. So do leave me a tree emoji as I said. Enjoy the other readings in the Timeless Readings playlist, and I will see you in your next pile. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome, my beloved pile number 3s. Those of you who picked Lapis Lazuli and a wonderful crystal, for those of you especially if you have a Libra placement. And yes, you guessed it right, my dear tarot pals, I have picked pile number 3 as my main selection. 2 was for my additional messages. Today we're going to look at where you are right now so that you can understand if this reading and this pile is for you. So we'll understand a little bit about your current energy, what's going on. We will then move into what your future self wants to tell you, wants to show you, where you're going. I've not kept a timeline, of course, so we'll see what comes up. Before we go ahead, the least thing you can do for a free content you're enjoying is be nice and kind and sweet and hit that subscribe button, please. It helps me really stay motivated. On that note, let's start off. We do have number 16, the Hoponono sunset. Hoponono is a prayer for those of you who don't know. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'll say that one more time. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. It is a healing prayer. It's a Hawaiian prayer, and it has worked wonders for everybody I've ever heard try it. So if you're dealing with something, it could be anything. You want something, you want to heal something, you want to release something, you want to create something. Talk to yourself, place a hand under your heart, and just speak that out loud, okay? And speak it as till the time, and you'll feel that calm set in, okay? Tell me if you know what I mean. All right. First, we're going to get towards Lapis Lazuli, by the way, is the stone of Cleopatra. For those of you who don't know, they used to use this as one of the most ancient stones that's existed. They used to use this to make paintings and color and cosmetics. That's just an additional history trivia. If that has a correlation to your reading, we will see. Lapis Lazuli is a wonderful stone when it comes to throat chakra and your third eye chakra. I personally believe it's an overall stone, but definitely a great stone for throat, third and crown, okay, to connect you to the higher self. Let's see what is going on for pile number 3. What's your current energy like? What is happening for pile number 3? Okay, we have the first card. We are patiently waiting for something. The first card out here is of patience. What is going on in pile number 3's life? What does pile number 3 need to know? Can you tell me about where they are right now? Who am I reading for? Thank you, Spirit. What's going on? Okay. This part of the reading, I'm not taking reversals. So, we have the Ace of Wands. Interesting. And we have the Chariot. I love this. Okay. I love how, unlike pile 1 and 2, your all cards are actually very positive, by the way, okay? So, this is multiple messages. Some of you have had an idea, perhaps a couple of years ago, or perhaps, I would say 4 years ago, 5 years ago or something, okay? And you've stuck to it, okay? Let's say, I'll give my example because it's easier. Let's say in my context, I'm talking about Tarot Pal, okay? So I started this in 2021. That's my passion. That's what I got excited about. And I've patiently been working towards it. I have not lost hope that my ships are coming in. I'm enjoying the journey. I'm enjoying the journey, okay, of creation rather than actually focusing on the ending. In whatever context this example makes sense to you, of having an inspiration, having the patience to run with it, enjoy the journey. You do expect big gains, you do expect big things to happen, but this pile is clearly someone who's tapped into enjoying the journey that they're on, okay? And you've been very, very patient. Some of you, another message is that you're very patiently waiting for a visa approval, a travel to happen, somebody to come and visit you, or you to go visit some place. This is something to do with movement. For some of you, you're very patiently waiting and saving money for a big purchase. This could be like a car, a house, you know, any of the large purchases which need a lot of money, and you've been saving up for a good long amount of time, and you're hoping this thing works out for you, okay? For some of you who is watching this reading, you've just had an idea and you've made some moves and you're really nervous if this would play along, but you're leaving it to fate and you're hoping that this will work out wonders for you. I do have the strong Cancerian energy showing up. Something may have been initiated in the month of July for you guys. There's a certain amount of balance that you're trying to learn. I wouldn't say you've learned it, but you're clearly focusing on learning how to balance the yin and the yang within yourself. Some of you have walked away from a third-party relationship, take it as it resonates, and it took a lot of, you know, inner resilience, and you kind of at a better place in the sense like you're learning to be at a better place, because I feel like this is a very transitionary phase for pile number 3s, okay? Wherever you are, whether it's education, whether it's academics, whether it's your relationships, you've just started something a couple of years ago or some months ago, and it's still moving. You've not really seen what is the final investment, okay? You've not really seen where it's taking you, but you're kind of letting this run through faith, okay? Some of you could literally be waiting for some sort of a paperwork sign off, or some authority figure retiring. I'm literally hearing like retiring, for you to gain their position or for you to gain something. So somebody basically moving on to the next stage of life gives you a certain amount of benefit, okay? For some of you, it could also be that there's a passionate idea that you know can take you places, okay? This card literally talks about movement. This is passion. There's a passionate idea that you're aware will take you places, but you're waiting for the right time. You're waiting for your ships to come in. You're waiting for something to happen, and then you will initiate this, okay? This could be, of course, a relationship. You're waiting to propose someone. You're waiting to initiate a relationship. You're waiting to go there, but there's clearly that weight of something is not ready to be revealed itself is the phase that you're in. That's what's going on for you, okay? We do have the 2 7s repeating here. So you could be seeing some of the angel number combinations of 777. Spirituality is something that you take a lot of interest and a lot of inspiration from. Faith has clearly ruled your life, pile number 3s, okay? It has been your savior. When you feel scared, you typically speak to God. That's the kind of person I'm tapped into when I'm watching this reading. We're going to move towards, when I'm reading this reading rather, okay? We are going to move towards what your future self wants to tell us about what's coming up and what's going on. Let's see. Future self. So first we'll start off with the major arcana, then we'll take some more tarot cards for you. We will then get you some angel guidance and wrap this up with a postcard, okay? Let us see. Future self of pile number 3. One more shuffle, thank you. Okay. Future self of pile number 3. What is happening in the future for pile number 3? What is happening in the future for pile number 3? Okay, I don't know why, but there's a lot more secret energy about you, because I see how the cards behave. For pile 1 and pile 2, the cards came out really fast. But clearly, there is a secretive energy, almost like a lot of things that your future self knows is not in your hands, or it's not for you to know. Wow, we have the Scorpio energy underlining. Death, transformation, okay, something rebirthing. And I don't know why the cards struggled a lot. We will see, but I could tap into that energy and it feels like, you know, things are yet to be revealed to you. Wow, we turn it off with Geminis, lovers, decisions, okay? Lovers is ruled by Gemini. I am very tapped into, well, of course, we've all seen this card a lot of times. Suddenly I'm noticing that peacock on Krishna's head, okay? The peacock feather. That could be something that's your future self really wants you to get, because I notice whatever I notice in a card specifically. Some of you maybe, you know, it's good to gift people peacock feathers, and never obviously pluck a feather from a peacock. You're supposed to, like, if you find it in a place where peacocks are and you find a peacock feather, that's the most luckiest thing, okay? I don't know why I went on that trail, but that's a message Spirit wants to give you. We have the Tower card. I mean, didn't we say about Spirit does not want to reveal yet, okay? And we have the Hierophant, okay. Wow, such specific messages today in every reading. So I know this reading will not resonate with a lot of people, and if it does for you, if it's your story, I would really like to know this is your story. Some of you could be in a relationship and that is transforming or has broken away or is going to break away, and you will either not see this coming, or this is already initiated and you're waiting for the next thing to happen already for you, okay? If that's where you are, a relationship that breaks makes way for another, okay? That is the message that I'm getting. Lovers always talks about choices and decision. The Taurus and the Gemini energy and the Scorpio energy, these are the 3 energies heavily present here. So these seasons could be relevant for you. As I record this, today is the new moon in Sagittarius, and a year from now, of course, we return to the Scorpio season. So I strongly feel for you guys, 6 months from now, a huge transformation has already happened. And 6 months from there, which makes it like a year's time, you would definitely be at a better place when it comes to your romantic life, when it comes to your relationships, when it comes to, especially if those of you who are married and watching this and something has crashed for you, you're not at a good place, you're not seeing eye to eye, you will get to a better place in a year's time, okay? Let us get more tarot cards before I continue what your future self wants to tell us, okay? Religious gurus are again signified here. So some of you, like me, may have been drawn to pile 2 as well, because spirituality is as strongly present in this one as in that one, okay? Devotional music may actually really help you, pile number 3s. Okay, moon. See, secrets everywhere. The water runs deeper than you think. For some of you, that's a message. Oh my God, pile number 3. You will not recognize yourself in the future. That's for sure. You know, a lot of strong belief system that you have right now, that you think who you are. Some of you are really breaking away from some dogmatic structures in the future. Things that either the society has told you or you genuinely believe in them, and they really hold you back. You're ready to break away from them, and that transformation is happening. There's a lot happening in your dreams, so please do maintain a dream journal. Spirit and your future self really tells you that your future self is wishing that they wish they would have kept a dream journal. So don't, you know, the whole point of watching tarot readings is to get guidance. So please take that guidance and make a dream journal if you don't already, okay? Let's get more cards. What is the future self trying to tell you? Okay, we have 6 of Pentacles. Help. We have 2 6s now. The Lovers is 6 as well. Okay. Help, charity, donations, and the Knight of Cups. I love this guy showing up as the end of the reading. Okay, clearly for some of you, this is literally just a love reading. That's what your future self wants to talk to you about. We have the High Priestess. Could there be any more psychic energies here for this reading? Okay, again, the Scorpio, by the way. Okay, any of you who are Scorpios, do leave me a Scorpio emoji. That tells me that is why we got... I mean, look at that. When two cards repeat, it is never a coincidence. I mean, come on, guys. From two different decks, we have death. What is definitely happening for you, and your future self is clearly telling you, change, and change that you can't believe, you can't imagine, you can't dream of. I know, so sad, right? We're asking future self to tell us what's happening, and they're telling me, oh, what's happening is what you can't dream of. But I'm not going to add something which I can't see, right? So there's clearly a personality change, a life change that is coming your way. Now, many of you may be like, I think I intuitively know, Dvitya, what this is talking about. Oh my God, look at that. The card underneath that is Ace of Cups. Okay. Some of you, it could be like you've actually taken some action which already indicates to you what this may be talking about. What kind of transformation are we talking about? But be very intuitive. Your future self is clearly somebody who's very tapped into spirit, you know, like they speak to spirit. They understand what the weather is telling them, what their mood is telling them. They're very self-aware and they're regulating their emotions really well. The future self, you, okay? This is also a personality in the future who would not wait for, you know, if you're somebody who's constantly procrastinates or is conflict averse or waits till the last moment for something to really shape up, you're becoming more better at planning. Okay, your future self is telling you that they are way more ahead of what will happen in their surroundings. So they plan ahead, they know things ahead, etc, etc. Okay, in your future, there is clearly these two, 6 and Lovers is soulmate. Okay, 6 of Pentacles to Knight of Cups is you have somebody coming in your life, pile number 3s, who's going to be tremendously helpful. They're literally a solid rock system for you. This could, of course, be in the terms of financial support, but it could be beyond that because I do have the earth and water both, right? So earth is the financial, material, professional realm, and water is the emotions. This person, the Knight of Cups, could be a water sign energy themselves, or a Gemini as we see here, or a Pisces, by the way. You guys will just have a out of the blue kind of chemistry, okay? And this person would go to the ends of the world to keep you happy. This is somebody who's going to have great communication with you and would always be your, again, support system, okay? The moon here, of course, does talk about things that you don't know yet, and your future self is telling you, don't be so overconfident about certain things that you're very, you know, like, sometimes we get like, oh, I know this is the only way this can happen. And then spirit has a way of surprising us and going like, aha, you think you know it all. Okay, so if any of you are typically people who are called as know-it-alls, be mindful, something will not go your way. And I don't think it's something massive, but it will have an impact on your ego, okay? As like, oh, damn, that's the first or the rare times I get wrong, and you may be proven wrong about something, pile number 2s, okay? Your future self clearly also wants to tell you that you will become, if you're somebody who delays decision making at any level, in any form, or does not want to be the person who makes decisions, that is just out of the ball for you, okay? The future self has no space for the indecisive you. And the reason for that is because your future self, again, like I said, is very tapped into their inner being. They know what is it that is happening around them. So for them, that decision making is very evident. Some of you may have very strong Scorpio and Taurus placements in your chart, because I do have that opposite sign axis playing out. Observation, intuition, watching things happen, not participating but allowing, you know, those things to happen in the mind. And Hierophant is Taurus, okay? Taurus is all about that bull, that deliberate, obvious, persistent action. So in the future, when you make a decision, this personality, when they make a choice, you kind of balance both those things. Okay, you balance both those things. Money is clearly there, and I feel like money comes through other people's money. You could be like somebody who's appearing for a bank exam, by the way, and you would clear it. You may be somebody who's into taxation and you will clear it, because that 8th house energy is strongly reflected here, okay? Your future self, again, is also developing very strong psychic abilities. So some of you may be developing clairsentience, clairaudience, claircognizance. Those kind of things are calling to you. Any kind of an occult science, go for it, guys. I mean, your future self is really saying it like, this is my destiny. I was made for this. I can make things happen from thin air, and that is the personality that this pile is evolving into, okay? The Tower card is never a bad card for me. It basically means that in the future, if you're still hanging on to something that is dead and dusted, that needs to get over, that needs to be sorted, and you are still waiting for that past thing, that's it, that's done. That's done. You need to move towards your future. Okay, if one message I can give this file is like, focus on change, focus on accepting change, focus on run towards change rather than running away from it. That is a message pile number 3 really needs to hear. Run towards change and trust your intuition. Everything is done, everything is working out for you, everything will flow for you if you just follow the next step, the next step, the next step, the next step. Okay, let us get you some angel card guidance, pile number 3s. I mean, wow, 2 death cards. I really want this pile to just leave me a Scorpio emoji, okay? Because you are really going through that transformation. You're going through a tremendous change, and I strongly feel this change will not only change your love story, as is, if you've often felt like less reciprocation, you've always been the overgiver, that is changing for you, but it's also changing your financial status, okay? Your status in the society, because you gain through this union that is coming your way, okay? Let us get some angel guidance for you from your future self. What would the angels want you to know about your future self? What would, okay, we have the Ascended Masters. I really see that repeat happening. If you are from pile 2, so can you, I'm sure. We have the Ascended Masters card again. If you're very scared, pile number 3s, while you're watching this reading, look at that. Tap into your divine feminine side and be ready to receive the abundance. You're very scared of what you're letting go of, but you're not looking at what is coming your way. I want this pile to start looking at what is in the future, because your future is clearly great. And if that is also overwhelming, just stay in the present and talk to your Ascended Masters. Jesus, Krishna, Sai Baba, Kuan Yin, any Ascended Master. Chanting will tremendously help you guys navigate through where you're going. If you don't have an, wow, this is literally the same cards out for pile number 2s, I think. Okay, talk to spirit. Spirit will speak to you. Okay, like I said, some of you are developing that claircognizance or clairsentience ability as well, wherein you're able to listen to your higher self very easily. Okay, in the future, if you're somebody who's also often, which is a very Scorpio trait, struggled to speak your truth and often gone the road of manipulation, that is changing for you. You're going to become a very blunt, on the face, this is what I want and this is how I want it kind of a person, okay, for whatever reason that is. Books are shown up in your future, and this tells me that Spirit wants to tell you that your future self will tremendously benefit from the knowledge you gain today. So read a book, pick up something, and you really want to love, invest your time as you watch this in reading, writing, or gaining knowledge. For some of you who are asking, is it in your destiny to become a writer, an author? Are you meant to write a book of some sort? Yes, you would. Many of you would write about your spiritual journey and the things you've learned during your spiritual practices. Some of you may be really surprised, but you may be designing tarot, you may be writing a book, you're clearly doing something editorial. That's what I'm trying to use the word, okay? That is in your future as a career path as well. Gemini does rule the 3rd house. So anything related to communication and career and occult and career is on the cards for you, pile number 3. We will wrap this up with a postcard from Spirit to give you like a summary, because there's clearly a lot of secretive energy here and a lot of transformative energy here. I hope you leave me the Scorpio emoji. It tells me that you picked pile 3 as me, and this is as exciting as it gets for me personally, because I can definitely see which part of my life this resonates with. Do let me know if this is of course resonating for you as well. Okay, Spirit has picked a card for us. Let's see what it is. Sometimes you feel like no one understands you. Hello Scorpios, if you're watching this. You're not heard, or even that you don't count. This, my dear, is a terrible illusion. And although your feelings tell you that abandonments are real, a classic Scorpio wound is betrayal. Maybe that's what you're transforming from. You're learning to trust people, and your future self is way more trusting, is way more steady, which is the Taurus energy, instead of what you feel right now. We who love you know better. You're never alone, and even in rejection happens. And even when rejection happens, you're ultimately being protected, so better things can replace what wouldn't have worked out in the first place. Isn't that such a beautiful energy we tapped into? You need to release what you think was the best thing that can happen to you, and spirit will bless you with something better. Everyone on this side of the wheel is watching over you and rooting for your ultimate success. Life loves you, we love you, and you are a unique spark of the divine and always counted to the light and to the source. You're always in our care. Trust and keep faith. Oh, love you always and forever. I loved reading that message for myself. As I said, I picked this pile as well. Trust and keep faith. Keep faith that what is gone is not going to be better than what is coming. What is coming is better to be. I've loved this message from your future self. That's the kind of pump I hope you needed as much as I did. And I wish you guys absolute success. Hit like, leave me a Scorpio emoji, and I'll see you in your next reading. Take care. Bye-bye.